EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the New Orleans Saints. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? Oh, nice move. Room to run at the 50. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
It's tough enough to play defense anyway, but after a return like that, now your mindset has to change a little bit. Instead of going out and just getting settled in the first few plays, you have to be prepared for just about anything.
Ready, set.
Throwing to start the drive. Fowler. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
On 1st and 10, here's Irving. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
Ready. Black Ultra. 52 blue. Light blue.
Back to throw. Fowler. Touchdown! A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Buccaneers march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage. Now the try here for the extra point. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead.
That's the score. Buccaneers 7, Saints nothing.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Oh, and a nice return, but he takes a big shot at the end of it.
At their own 37-yard line.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll try and start this drive in the air. This ball complete to Trey Palmer. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
All right, I've got to be careful here. All right, he's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his speed as far as he's concerned.
What he's saying, I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there, let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely, still got a lot of life left in those legs. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be second down.
Second and 6.
Ready? 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
They'll look to throw here. His throw incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere.
Go! Viking 18. 60 Bobcats.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be fourth down. Here's Blake Grupe now for the Saints field goal.
It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is right down the middle. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Taking it right down Broadway. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
Saints take over to first and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Come on, come on.
Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
And that's going to be incomplete. Hey, look at this defense.
They sit at number 20 in the NFL right now against the run.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. You've got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
Here's second and 10.
Ready? Panther 60, Panther 60. Go.
Back to throw. And holding here by Rivera. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 38-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Cowboy 80, alert.
First down, here's White. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Well, this defense for the Bucs, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11.
Ready.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now.
So after the field goal, back out is Grupe to send this one away.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And they finally stop him, but not before he's inside the 15. A terrific return.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. Maybe I go out there and try and stop them, but boy, what a tough spot they're in.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Ready.
Now a give, Irving running right.
And he stopped immediately there. He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
Here we claws red. 52 Bulls. Ready.
Operating from the gun. Fowler. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown.
Emeka Egbuka.
A 14-yard touchdown.
And the Bucs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is up to 15 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about.
That's caught at the 25. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 71 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation.
Get it.
Back to throw here. This is intercepted. And the Bucs are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
Well, Brand, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to get with the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
At the 8-yard line.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it 2nd down and 12.
Here we go. 60 red. 60 red.
Looking to throw. Fowler. From the left side, it's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain of 28 yards there and give him the first down.
First down.
Ready.
Back to throw. Fowler. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Operating from the gun. Fowler. Looking middle, and he's got Ibuka. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Here we go. Set. Red, yellow, black, 95, 6, mega. Set.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Let's go. Set.
Handoff running left, Irving. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and knock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Once again, it's Irving.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Okay, ready?
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Here we go. Here we go. 50, set.
Looking to throw. Fowler. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete.
And he is going to have a Bucs first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Yellow, 43, set.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Bucs Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Right, 97. Ready?
A run up the middle with Irving. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Ready, break. Ready. 10, 3, 32. Field, black. Ready.
Back to throw. Fowler. And incomplete on the deep ball. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
38.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
I see the surprise in the face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Okay, ready?
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Panther 60. 7 Pirates.
He'll look to throw. Caught by Cobb. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
Let's go now. Hawk 70.
They'll drop to throw. That's complete, and once again, it's Cobb. And he is going to have a Saints first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
First and 10.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Now he's going to step up and run. This one taken in by Olave.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Again, he'll drop to throw.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
Mustang 19. Go.
Back to throw again.
He'll try and do this himself. Now throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Arises on to punt here as he gets this one away.
And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Yellow.
Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Fowler. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
Second and 10.
Set. Blue 32, black shot. Ready?
Looking to throw. Fowler. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jonas Sanker. And the Saints are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been good.
This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave as the first half is winding down. And the Saints are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone.
19 Lions.
They'll try and throw for it. And he's going to get in for the 2 points. And that'll make this a 10-point game. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
On the ready.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
On the set.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Ready. Cut.
Back to throw. Fowler.
Catch made by Watson on the out route.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
3rd and 7.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Here we go. Block.
From the gun on 3rd down. Fowler. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
That's good. 4 up.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A final shot before break. Fowler. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
That's completed right side to Palmer. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Saints, first down. First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is first and 10 right now. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Nope, here we go. Start. Ready.
They run straight ahead here with White. They'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Get it.
Now back to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They had a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42.
It looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And this is back down to a 7-point game.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would, and in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about saying defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far.
Watson, 650, Green.
Operating from the gun. Fowler. Oh, he's got Ibuka. That's complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Emeka Ibuka with career touchdown number 70. And the Bucs have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14.
31. Saints 17.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the third quarter. 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Drop Cowboy 80. Go.
They'll set up to throw. Open man has come. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
70. 60 Bison.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Pat. 60 Eagles. Ready.
He'll look to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
Break.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Go. Pop, 7 Pirates.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Buccaneers are going to get the football here at their own 23. And I guess we're at the point of the game where they do need to open up the playbook a little bit, start to take some chances down the field, but that one did not go as planned.
Yeah, these guys need something good to go their way, and they took an opportunity to take that shot there, but obviously that's not going to help. A tough play for them as they're trying to make their way back.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Ready.
They'll stay on the ground with Irvin.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Come on, set. Hut.
From the gun on 3rd down. Fowler. He's got him in. Complete. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 63 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And
the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And the Saints are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 5-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
70 Timberwolves, Cup 19, Cup 19.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace.
3rd and 4.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
4th down.
Here comes the Saints punter now. Standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. That's pulled in at the 32. All told, that a 55-yard punt with a net of 40 after the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Well, they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on that.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On the double.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Looking to throw. Fowler. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Bucs are on their way to a 2-0 start. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles.
they just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
70 race, 60 by 6, 60 by 6.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Cougar 19. Go.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. But he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Let's go now. Bronco 80. Ready?
They'll look to throw again. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot.
Okay, ready? Set.
Straight ahead, it's Irvin. We'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Good gain there on first down. Yeah, keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
Not in any rush offensively. And he gets it down to the 32. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives him a 1st and 10. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Here we go. Here we go. Blue 32. Set.
They'll try the left side. Curtis. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world up to the challenge.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
45, White.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Let's go. Red 38. Ready.
And they will take a knee here. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
At their own 20-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And last time, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out.
Cowboy 80. Dragon 60. 19 Lions.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That's taken in by Palmer. And he's tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
That's another Saints first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And this is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Was shot right, 37 yards. And the Saints are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
The Saints will line up for the 2-point.
They'll look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Here we go. Here we go. Blue 32. Hut.
Down to a knee, and the defense, they can't stop that clock. A couple more of those, and it's going to be victory.
Set, ready. Yellow 43. Ready?
And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Ready.
First and 10.
Black 40.
At the 29-yard line.
Ready.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that